This might be the worst game in NFL history. This Super Bowl was so bad that one of the winning players didn't even want their ring. It's Super Bowl V in 1971, and it's been dubbed the Blooper Bowl and the Blunder Bowl. And it's the only Super Bowl where the MVP was given to a losing player who wasn't even a quarterback. The game was between the Baltimore Colts and the Dallas Cowboys. It started with a penalty after penalty from both teams. Then in the second quarter, the Cowboys blocked an extra point and led it to half 13-6. One Colts player even said he was so embarrassed by the game, he didn't even want to come out of the locker room after halftime. He was right, because the second half was even sloppier. In the third quarter, the Colts fumbled the opening kickoff. The Cowboys then drove down the 1 yard line, but then they fumbled before they could punch it in. On the first play of the fourth quarter, the Colts threw an interception in the end zone. Later, the Colts had one of the strangest players in Super Bowl history with the flea flicker gone wrong, resulting in a fumble, and no one could recover. And eventually the ball was pushed out to the back of the end zone for another Colts turnover. But they were able to redeem themselves later when the Colts scored to tie the game at 13. It seemed neither team wanted to win, because in the next drive, the Cowboys committed a 15-yard holding penalty that pushed them back to their own 27-yard line. And on the second and 35, QB Craig Morton threw a pick, leading the Colts rookie kicker Jim O'Brien, nailing a 32-yard field goal with 5 seconds left. The Baltimore Colts were named Super Bowl V champions, despite committing 7 turnovers, still a record for the most by a Super Bowl champion. The Colts and Cowboys' 11 total turnovers is also still a Super Bowl record. As soon as the game ended, the Cowboys' Bob Lilly famously threw his helmet in frustration, and even though the Colts won, Super Bowl MVP went to the Cowboys linebacker Chuck Howley, who had 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. But Howley didn't want to accept the reward because he found it pointless. Even Colts defensive end Bubba Smith refused to wear his championship ring because of how bad the game was. And when players from both teams want to just forget about it and not even accept the rewards, you know the game was pretty bad. Probably one of the worst in football history.